Hello and welcome to another episode of The Revolution Will Be Heard. The purpose of this series has, up until now, been to broadcast all of the latest news and events about BWR. So normally, this close to a show, I'd be doing a rundown of the card and a preview, but today I'm going to be doing something a little different instead. With the huge show at Grimsby Auditorium drawing ever closer, there could potentially be a lot of wrestling fans discovering BWR for the first time in the coming weeks, as well as others who may already know the name but have not checked out any shows yet. So for those people, and for anyone else who might be interested, this is going to be my brief beginner's guide to BWR. The Revolution Will Be Heard is a YouTube series of videos hosted by me, Dopper. Hello. These videos are all centred around BWR, British Wrestling Revolution, which is a wrestling company based in Grimsby and Cleethorpes. As I have no affiliation with the company itself, this is 100% unofficial. I'm just an enthusiastic fan of BWR shows, and I have been since day one. Actually, I suppose I should call it day 2, because I missed the first show, but I have been a regular attendee since the second one. British Wrestling Revolution began doing shows in 2017. In an interview for the local newspaper ahead of the first show, BWR's promoter stated that she felt like local wrestlers around North East Lincolnshire were lacking an outlet to perform and took it upon herself to start up her own company. The first 5 shows took place at a couple of modest venues around Grimsby, and fan interests started to grow. As well as local talent, some bigger names from outside the area were brought in to appear, such as Doug Williams, who had spent many years wrestling in the TNA promotion in America, facing off against legendary wrestlers such as Ric Flair, Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. Joseph Connors had reached the quarterfinal of the NXT UK Championship tournament on the WWE Network earlier that year. He became a full-time member of the BWR roster and was crowned the first heavyweight champion of the promotion at the end of 2017. Then in 2018, BWR started regularly hosting shows at the Memorial Hall in Cleethorpes. Wrestling shows had regularly taken place in that building from as far back as the 1960s, up until 1995. Legends of the sport such as Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, and even the likes of Bret the Hitman Hart and the British Bulldog had all passed through the Memorial Hall doors. That 23-year absence ended when BWR sold out the venue in March of 2018. They combined the tradition of classic British wrestling with a modern cutting-edge feel, with an entrance stage, large video screen and pyrotechnics. In addition to the BWR Heavyweight title, they added Tag Team Championships and Cruiserweight Championships in 2018, before adding a Women's Championship in 2019. BWR's rise was such that they were able to book talent under contract to the top 2 companies in America for matches in Cleethorpes. The then WWE UK champion Pete Dunne wrestled in 2 main event matches, and AEW superstar Pac main evented a show at the end of 2018. As well as those 2 superstars who had already carved out successful careers in America, BWR regularly booked up-and-coming names such as Kip Sabian, Alba Fire, Piper Niven, Gabe Kidd and Joe Hendry, before they all signed for the big boys and left the UK. The variety of wrestling action on every BWR show is second to none. There are, of course, traditional singles and tag matches featuring men and women wrestlers on every show, but when heated rivalries have merited them, there have been steel cage matches, ladder matches, I Quit matches, rumble matches, and this one time, earlier this year in fact, one guy got a heavyweight title match by putting his hair on the line. He lost, and he got his head shaved right there in the ring. It was bonkers. as well as those big names I mentioned who went from having great matches in BWR to signing contracts with American and Japanese companies. The talent on the full-time roster has just got better and better year after year. Robbie X, a young lad born and raised down the road in Lincoln, is in demand all over the United Kingdom right now. And just last month he became the first ever British wrestler to compete in the prestigious CMLL Grand Prix tournament at the most famous arena in Mexico. There's also Scotty Rourke, a Grimsby lad himself who started at the bottom before working his way up the ranks, becoming a tag team champion, then a cruiserweight champion, and then at the end of 2023 became BWR heavyweight champion. Not only that, Scotty can legitimately call himself a world heavyweight champion after successfully defending his BWR title in Poland and in Italy in 2024, as well as on every BWR show. If you're looking for a couple of free samples of what is on offer on BWR shows, the official British Wrestling Revolution YouTube channel has a few matches on there from 2018 and 2019, and even has a full show from 2020. All of the BWR shows are available in full on their on-demand streaming service, and that can be found at bwrondemand.vhx.tv. A monthly subscription to that is only £5, and like I said, the entire back catalogue is on there. The number of shows BWR do each year can fluctuate based on a number of different circumstances. In the past, they've done some shows at smaller venues around Grimsby, featuring mostly local talent in between the bigger Memorial Hall shows. They have also presented over 18 shows with a more gritty, hardcore feel. In 2024, BWR will have promoted 6 shows. They hosted big shows at the Cleethorpes Memorial Hall in January, March, May and July, with another one still to come this Saturday, the 14th of September, which is called The Last Stand. There are a small number of tickets still available now for The Last Stand from ticketsource.co.uk/BWR. So if you crack on, you might still be able to get one. That accounts for 5 of this year's 6 shows, but they are saving the biggest one for last. For the first time in BWR's 7-year history, on Friday the 22nd of November, they will be doing a show at the Grimsby Auditorium. That building has a seating capacity of over 1,000. There will be seats on the floor around the ring, loads of raised tier seating and a balcony on each side. So there will be an excellent view of the ring wherever you are sitting. I've tried for a while to think of a suitable analogy for what a big deal and how important this is. I suppose it's like you're a supporter of an amateur football team in Manchester. You go to their little ground and you enjoy watching every game. Every so often one of the players gets recruited by a Premier League team, and you're sad to see them go, but you're also happy that he or she has made it to the big time. Then, after 7 years, the club suddenly announces they are going to play a match at Old Trafford. Blimey. Our little undiscovered gem has taken a huge step. You're sure the match will be good because you know the players have the ability to do the job. So maybe there will be more matches in large settings like that. Or maybe it will only be a one-time thing. Either way, it's very exciting. It's not a perfect analogy, and I hate Man United, but hopefully it did make some sense. The show will be called BWR Viva la Revolution. Actually, is it revolution or do you say it with a bit of an accent? If it's Viva la, should it be Viva la Revolution? I'll look into that. I'll get back to you on a future video. As I said, it will be held on Friday, 22nd of November, and tickets for that show are only available from the Grimsby Auditorium's own website, which is grimsbyauditorium.org.uk. Tickets are available ranging in price from £28 down to just £16. And I'm hoping there will be a huge crowd there on the night for what I'm sure will be a very special, memorable show. So that concludes my brief summary on what British Wrestling Revolution is all about. If you type British Wrestling Revolution into all the various social media platforms, you will find their official pages. They are worth a follow, of course, and you can get all of the individual pieces of BWR news from there first as they happen. However, if you prefer to get a roundup of all the latest news once every couple of weeks in the form of a YouTube video, may I recommend youtube.com/Dopper6, because that is where the revolution will be heard.